The August jobs report is out. 96,000 new jobs were created over the month, and the unemployment rate dropped to 8.1% from 8.3%. I'm Jill Schlesinger from MoneyWatch.com. I'm joined by Jack Otter. Jack, a disappointing report.
Yeah, it really is, Jill. Only 96,000 jobs, 103 private sector, 103,000 private sector, because 7,000 government jobs disappeared. But at this rate, not only are we not creating enough jobs to keep up with population, we're certainly not creating enough new jobs to get back to where we were before the recession. At this rate, 2012 will see fewer new jobs created than we had back in 2011. Yeah, we had a slight downtick in the unemployment rate, but the main reason for that is fewer people are out there looking for jobs. It may just be that they're discouraged. Our friends at Calculated Risk, which is a good blog, they do point out that you've got some people aging out of the workforce. As the baby boomers retire, sure, that number in the workforce is naturally going to come down a little bit, but overall, this is not a good report. They've got to be very disappointed in the White House.
Yeah, I am sure, but of course what's going to happen is the Democrats and the White House is going to say, look, we came in at the worst possible time when you look at the jobs crisis. 700,000 jobs were being lost in those first few months. We've made great progress, 4 million new jobs added, and that's one story. The other story is the Republican story, which is, 4 million jobs, but there are 5 million fewer jobs than existed before the recession started, and job growth isn't going strong enough to get enough of the 12.5 million folks back to work. So the essential question, I guess, when you're a voter is, which one of these parties has a better plan to create jobs?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I'm not sure that either party is going to like my answer. Back to the chart, I do think it's interesting if you look at it. It actually is a decent chart for Obama, because just about as soon as he takes office, which frankly I think is an accident of the calendar, not really his policies, but you see the job losses shrink dramatically, and then you see they go above the line and we actually create jobs. The problem is those lines are not high enough. So his point is, look, the only way to really prime the pump is for the government to get involved, to say build infrastructure projects. They'll be hiring people. Those people will go out in the economy and spend money, eventually sort of getting the economy going on its own, and then the government can step back. The Republicans can say, baloney, the government doesn't create jobs, government is inefficient, we're going to just get out of the way of the private sector by reducing taxes and reducing regulation. I kind of say, well, first of all, even if Obama's plan is correct, he's never going to get it through a reluctant Congress. And on the Republican side, the problem in the economy right now is not that, say, corporations don't have enough money. In fact, they've got more money than they've ever had in history. It's not that wealthy people don't have enough money. That wage gap is higher than it's ever been in history. Really, it's on the demand side. And as we know, the Fed is doing everything it can to prime the pump, but I'm not sure how to create demand other than simply taking the time to grow into where we need to be.
So while we're all focused on Romney versus Obama, where we really may be focused on is Bernanke and maybe even Mario Draghi from the European Central Bank, really the only two institutions that seem to have enough firepower to prime the economies across the globe. So we'll have to be watching and waiting. I think next week will be quite telling when the Fed has its meeting. I expect some action. I'm not sure in what form. But regardless, we'll be keeping an eye on both the economy and the political story here on CBSNews.com. Thanks for watching.